Welcome to today's episode. My name is Gerard Stu from Vital Signs Consulting, and as the name suggests, we coach business owners to monitor the vital signs of their business so they can grow and increase their profits. And as promised, I'm going to ask you a few things again before we start. I want you to listen to the video more than once. And the reason for that is that you might miss something on the first time you've listened. You can also be in a different level of where you were 2, 3, 4 months ago, and you will take something different from the video. Always look for golden nuggets. If you listen to any podcast, look at any magazine, look for that golden nugget that you can take and implement in your business so it can grow. And write things down, because some people are more visual, they take more in. Write things down. Have a journal, have a book where you put all these ideas and all these podcasts in what you listen to. The aim that we do this channel is to educate you to be a business leader and to be an expert in your field. So often I hear people say, but I'm an expert. And then when you ask, what do you do differently than other people, they say, this is what I do differently, and then but that's exactly the same. We want you to be leaders in what you do. Like we said, if you want to be in the top 5% of successful business owners, you should be prepared to do what 95% of business owners don't do. That is the secret of success, is that you do that 5% more that 95% will not do. So what are you going to do after this talk today to be part of that 5%? I just want to quote, I've read the book, The One Thing, really interesting, and I think this is also a book that you need to get. We thought that we will do a book review, which we will do, but it is so big and so much that you actually need 6-7 weeks to review this book with all the good information in it. He said that the rare people who do become truly exceptional do so not because they're exceptional, they become amazing because they are obsessed with improvement. If everybody is exceptional, that will be the average. So not a lot of people want to put that little bit more effort in to be exceptional. And exceptional for them is to be obsessed with improvement. And that's where leaders comes in. Leaders keep on innovating and improving. Look what they have, see what they can change, improve, create, remove all the time. That is what it takes to become part of that 5% of the top business people. Robin Sharma, in his book, The 5 AM Club, also please, you need to get this book and read it. He has studied and mentored quite a bit of ultra-rich people over the years. And this is what he said they have. They are wildly curious. They are less scared of saying yes. They understand that failure is a gift. Now, if you go back to some of our things that we've talked about, is the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. They have a growth mindset. They are not scared to fail. They don't see failure as the end, but as where to start to make a success. They know that relationships are key. What did we say in the beginning? Success is built on 4 pillars: relationships, branding, marketing, and sales. Here they say it again, that relationships. They agree that disruptors win. You can't be the same than others. You have to be the disruptor. If you don't innovate and think differently, you can't disrupt. We know of social media at the moment, how quickly disruptions comes into our lives. You can have $1 million idea today and tomorrow it's gone. So the quicker you implement, the more action you take, the bigger your chances for success. They focus less on cost and more on value. Okay? Remember we talked about a rich mindset and a broke mindset. This is a rich mindset. Lastly, he said, they invest in their growth. If you look at people like, for example, Richard Branson, all those people keep on educating themselves, reading a lot of books. Warren Buffett, they read books all the time. They educate them all the time. What do you as a business leader do to educate yourself? We said previously, if you educate yourself, you have better information, you can make better decisions, and from better decisions, you can make more money because you have the right menu and ingredients to make it work. Again, I say, what do you do to be part of the top 5% of business people? What are you prepared to do what 95% of business owners are not prepared to do? Do you have a growth mindset? Are you open for change? Are you okay with failure? Just a few of them. We must remember that all these people that are reading books from, all of them started as amateurs. Even the master started as a student. So how did they become masters? How did they become so successful? Is that they worked on themselves. They educated themselves. They got mentors to help them. They had open mindset. They kept on doing things consistently. It is not, success is a science because there's a recipe for it. The thing comes in that we think we can put our own ingredients into our menu and into how we're going to do things. Why don't we just listen to all these successful people and implement these ideas? So one of the things that I thought I'll talk about today in leadership is the one thing. When I do coaching, one of the things that happens so often is people say, I feel so overwhelmed. There's so many things. It's a web page, it's names, it's registrations, what format do I have to put my business in? It's what do I say at network sessions? It is just totally overwhelming. So what the one thing said is that we need to move away from our to-do list to a success list. This is easier said than done. Basically what I say, the difference between your to-do list and your success list is that your to-do list is long. Your success list is short. Your to-do list just takes you in all directions, tears you apart, because you have to do 20 things in 6 hours, which is impossible. Where your success list is much more focused, and we talked about it before, get laser focused. Your to-do list is disorganized. Your success list is organized. So the one thing that we do, and actually happened over the weekend, is that we had 6 things on our list, no, like 8 things to do over the weekend. And I felt a bit overwhelmed because I knew that the day is going to be too short. Took the one thing, what is the one thing that I need to get done today to make a difference? By the end of Sunday afternoon, 6 o'clock, we have done 3 of the 6 things. The thing is that the 3 things were finalized and done. We didn't work on 6 things and nothing is done. By having our success list and doing one thing and finalize and finish it, we feel accomplished. By working on 6 things, don't do and complete anything, we felt we didn't accomplish anything. Mentally, it makes a big difference, and I need to work on one thing, get laser focused, finalize it, and get it done. So what the one thing say is that, well, there's a question actually. If we don't know which one is more important, they ask yourself this one question. What is the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? So basically, what is the one thing I can take from this list that if I do it, things will be easier afterwards, okay? And I don't have to go back to it again. For example, if I sit down now and do a policy and procedure that will save me time to go back all the time and solve the issues, let me do that. Have a policy and procedure to take to the staff and say, this is how we're going to do things from point A to point Z. If there's a problem, you come to me and we solve it, and we have one procedure that we don't have to go back each and every day like we've done over the last month. By doing that, you'll have more time to work on other things. Remember the 80-20 rule is normally that we spend 80% time on 20% things that's faulty. If we can solve that 20%, we will have much more time to do other things on our success list, not a to-do list, our success list. If you know your why and your beliefs, it will also be easier to do this one thing. Because this one thing I'm going to do, okay, is it in line with my why? Will it get me closer to my why? So it will stop you from doing things that don't get you closer to your goal. We spoke about it again. It takes 66 days to form a new habit. This might take some time for you to, as soon as you start with that to-do list, is to say, what is that one thing today I'm going to put on my success list? They've done a study at Siemens in Germany a few years back, where they allowed people to work for 2 hours a morning on a project of their choice, with no interference, no email, no anything, just to get laser focused. And the results were enormous. The outcomes were enormous. The results were enormous, because we get laser focused on one thing. Let's get into an habit, okay, of having a success list. Ask yourself the question, what is that one thing, if I do it now, that it will be easier afterwards? I hope that these little gold nuggets you will take and implement in your business. It's no use just listening and not doing anything. The more action you take, the more successful you'll be. This is where we say goodbye to our YouTube listeners. If you think that anybody can find benefit from this by listening and make a difference in their business, please share with them. And it's good also to discuss with them what you've just heard and learned. If you want to become part of our Worldwide Business Club members, just go to www.patreon.com/Vital Signs Consulting and become part of our leader group that wants to make business owners leaders in their field, where we can listen to successful people in business, take that gold nuggets and implement in your business. So our members, please stay tuned for our interview after the break.